The consumer internet connects about 5 billion devices. Think about all the new business models that came about, all the changes in our lives. And now imagine we connect 50 billion devices to each other. Devices that run manufacturing floors, that run energy plants, that run healthcare systems. What kind of value can they create in the world? What kind of business models can happen through this?
We need businesses to rethink their business models. You got to start looking differently at your consumer relationship, the way you price your products, the way you provide the services, and increasingly we see you don't pay for a product per se, but increasingly you pay for a service. You see increasing importance of these ecosystems that together start creating these tremendous new solutions that dramatically can improve people's lives.
We can really increase the utilization rate of products. Today, a utilization rate of cars is maybe 15%. Half of the time is used to search for parking spaces or standing in traffic jams. Using data and software, we will be enabled to automate driving. We will bring up the utilization rate, and I think the same might happen to the industry.
We will see devices that no longer fail or are repaired before the failure happens. And that will change the way that we buy products, it will change the way we rent products, it will change the way we think about products.
In the past, the focus was on automation of muscle work. In the future, software will really help us to automate knowledge work, to come up with better decisions, faster decisions.
The skill set required for jobs in manufacturing will dramatically change. We would see far more white-collar workers in factories than what we have today. We will see many products being offered as services.
Some people estimate that the industrial Internet of Things is as big as the entire US economy. Capturing that benefit, creating the right framework, engaging the right parties is essential so that at the end of the day, the benefits can outweigh the risks.
There are some pretty significant questions that leaders within those organizations have. By coming together and sharing perspectives and understanding how others are thinking about these issues, they can collectively come up with better approaches to be able to create the enabling environment, as well as individually walk away with a more informed position to make individual decisions.
The ability to rethink products and services, reinvent business models, and retrain and retool the workforce. Doing this and more will be important to make sure that this trend, the industrial Internet of Things, doesn't just deliver the business and economic advantage, but also the human advantage. It's the people behind it that have the power to make it truly transformative.
Technology is moving faster than ever before, with experts saying there will be over 50 billion devices by 2020 and over 80 billion by 2025. The Internet of Things is a vision to connect all devices through the power of the Internet, always learning, always growing, 24/7.
The Internet of Things is at the centre of future technology. It is shaping our world into a faster, more connected experience.
The Internet of Things is going to be big. Look at all of the numbers. There's going to be 50 billion connected things. Cisco, IDC, Forrester predicting around about 800 million on one extreme to 1.5 trillion in services revenue from the Internet of Things. So it's going to be big.
In 2018, there were over 23 billion connected devices, more than the entire world population. By 2023, that number is predicted to double to over 51 billion.
But none of this is possible without 5G. It is the next stage on from 4G and has the capability of being 1,000 times faster, taking download speeds from 20 megabytes per second to 50 gigabytes per second.
5G will really put cellular at the heart of every piece of connectivity in the world.
5G is very important for adding much more value to the whole economy, globally as well as in the UK. Clearly it brings capacity, much more capability or higher speed, and also the ability to deal with things more securely at lower latency.
When you open a website, it can take a moment for it to appear before you. The speed at which that occurs is called latency. The human brain can interpret visual cues seen for as little as 13 milliseconds. 5G can produce latencies as low as 9 to 12 milliseconds. But 5G is not just about speed. It promises much more.
We're looking at the evolution of the Internet of Things, which to the introduction of massive machine-type communication, where we're targeting the ability to serve 1 million devices per square kilometre. So really high density of sensors, of telemetry devices. They're going to help us to evolve the way we live our digital lives.
The Internet of Things, or as some are calling it, the Internet of Everything, is going to open the doors to many new and exciting things in the future. Like emergency vehicles being able to communicate with traffic lights to help clear a path. Smart cities that help and communicate with people through their day-to-day lives. Security cameras that can identify a gun or weapon and call the police in seconds. And of course, autonomous cars.
A fully autonomous car comes with many luxuries, such as real-time traffic alerts, video streaming and calls, but it is not just about the passenger's journey. The process of being fully autonomous means that each connected car will have data recorded that provides information about each specific vehicle. This could include when to charge the battery or change the tyres, things that are currently estimated from averages. When we think of the word autonomous and what it means for the future, our mind goes to vehicles and smart traffic systems. But the connected car industry is just one part of what autonomous technology can offer us. Another aspect among many that is being explored is smart agriculture. With this new technology, our machines have all the information and data that's needed for them to calculate exactly where that seed should be planted. They will know the weather conditions, the level of moisture in the soil. This type of technology is already having a dramatic impact on the industry and subsequent crop yields.
If we could blanket cover areas of risk with low-cost, low-powered sensors, the people who understand those environments can take that data and accurately predict when a disaster may strike. So we can evacuate people and save people's lives.
With connected technology, a drone can be sent to inspect infrastructure while sending a live video feed back to an operator elsewhere. We still talk as if this is all in the future. What will our daily lives be when everything is connected? But it's already happening. We're already connected. The Internet of Things is not a prediction. It's here and it's now.
Internet of Things. Who loves the Internet? If you didn't put your hand up, get out. If you haven't used Google at work to do your job better, then you're wrong. And who loves things? The chairs you're sitting in, the glasses you're wearing, the phones you hold. Pretty much everyone, some weird people down here. Well, the Internet of Things, there's a lot to it, and I'm going to try and breeze through this in 7 minutes. But let's jump into it. Let's jump into what the Internet of Things, IoT, really is. Now, in a digital world, we can make everything talk to each other, right? We can make our phones talk to each other, we can make Facebook talk to each other, and in a physical world, not so much. This is where our lives and technological development has kind of stopped. But now, we are able to build a network, so multiple, of physical objects, your chair, your table, your lounge, those Tim Tams in the fridge, that are connected to the internet. If you don't know what the internet is, and you're some weird people that said no, get out. It allows you to send, so you can create and transmit, receive, so that you can receive and interpret, and exchange data. Exchange data. You can have conversations with things around you. So IoT will allow multiple physical objects, like your Tim Tams, to be connected to the internet. They can send just how good Tim Tams are to other Tim Tams and to you. And they can receive just how many people want those damn Tim Tams. And they can have a conversation with the other items in your fridge. So we're entering a very exciting time where we will have chairs, couches, pretty much everything that's in your home connected to the internet, or at least to have conversations with things around you. Now, it's still very ominous, right? Even though we have a definition that I may or may not have gotten off Urban Dictionary. But let's break it into 4 sections. Hardware. Little bits and pieces like this. The hardware is what actually allows us to connect digital items to physical objects. So I can put this on a door and it will tell me when that door opens. This is $1, by the way, $1. So we have hardware that senses things. We have data. Data actually starts to make sense of what all of this is, and it's the thing that we push around all the time, every day, that we don't really think about. But for example, this piece of hardware here creates Ecg data. It tells me how fast my heart is beating. Let's actually check that out right now. Yeah, okay, 110, great. And essentially, this has also changed over the last 10 years. We used to push data around in heavy, kind of standardized formats. We're seeing a lot of different ways of doing this now. We see JSON strings. Let's see you interpret that, Mikey. JSON, yeah. And now data is getting leaner. We can say more with less, okay? And data is becoming the universal language. Not English, not Chinese, not Auslan, but the universal language of things. And software, what do we do once we have that communication, once we have that piece of information? The software is what interprets it, it's what controls it. It's what analyzes it and allows it to do stuff. It's Facebook, it's your Instagram. It's the things that actually take pieces of data from these pieces of hardware and makes it do stuff that is valuable to you. And the last step, without all of this stuff, is if it wasn't connected, it wouldn't mean anything. And connectivity over the last 10 years, we've seen go from cellular phones that were the size of bricks through to Wi-Fi, to Ethernet, to 2G, GSM, 4G, all these different acronyms that are awesome. But essentially, it's gotten cheaper and it's gotten faster. This is an RF transmitter. This is $1.50. I can attach this to one of these sensors with this little bit in the middle, and I can start beaming information to other things around me with no ongoing cost, with electricity cost as much as 1 cent a month for one of these. And I can start to have a conversation in a language that is not English or Auslan, but in data. And once we have all of these things connected and get it up to the cloud, like these things here, we can actually start to use them. The thing on the top left, I call them things because they're on the internet. The thing on the top left is a Bluetooth beacon. It's used for marking things. These are $4. I can place this on any object and use this as a proximity marker as well as an identifier. I can put this in my fridge so that I know when Mum went inside and ate 16 of those Tim Tams. And for $4, I can also put it outside and know when my girlfriend gets home that she got safely through the valley and into my apartment. On the bottom left is an air quality sensor. This is on the top end of the costly electronics, but that's a $6 sensor that allows me to tell, is there ammonia? Is there carbon dioxide or harmful gases in the environment around me? And in the middle, a galvanic skin response system. This allows me to measure the conductivity in my skin, down to the micro level, where I can know before my brain does that I'm stressed, that I've got adrenaline pumping, or that I'm on stage. And on the right, we have consumerized versions of these up to the $10 mark that allow anyone in their home to start building the systems I'm talking about out of the box using software that's readily available. And it's all in the wonderful cloud. We can do it anywhere. We can do it for ultra low cost. We don't have to worry about maintaining it, and you don't have to be an expert to use it. Now, you may or may not know that this already exists in your home, and if it doesn't, you should already have it. There's systems that allow us to walk up to our front door and not use a key, but purely to actually measure, is Jordan there? Has he walked up in a particular way? Is it him? And unlock the door for me. I can turn my TV on to Channel 7 and The Simpsons, just as I get home and I like to in the afternoon. I can actually measure how many people are in my room, what's the humidity, what's the temperature outside, and automatically set my air conditioning. I can talk to a unit and turn my Philips Hue lights on at the right time, to the right colour for my mood. And if I leave them on when I leave, it'll take care of it for me. So what does this all mean? Why is this a big problem, right? Why does it present so many different opportunities? The thing is that now we have gotten to a point where this is such an available and realistic opportunity that it's going to explode. And it's only going to happen in 10 years. Who loves their job at the moment? Half of you are like, no. Who thinks that they'll be in the same job for the next 5 years? Oh, you are all wrong. Who thinks they'll be in the same job for 10 years? Even worse. We're entering a stage where everything will be connected, and the impact of IoT will be $11 trillion a year by 2025 across factories, cities, human identification and interaction, healthcare, work sites and general safety, offices and vehicles. And why now? Because of the ultra-low cost of this hardware, the high availability of resources, the low level of difficulty to compile them and put them together, and a highly digital and connected universe that is driving us towards not just connecting our digital space and our digital lives, but our physical space and the things we actually deal with every day. This is a vertical farm. The only human interaction needed is placing the seeds into the soil. Watering, trimming, harvesting is all taken care of by IoT systems. And Barcelona Smart City, over the last 10 years, has made one of the most IoT-integrated smart cities in the world. By placing sensors that tell people where parking spots are, they have increased revenue for parking to over $50 million per year. They've decreased their energy costs by $37 million a year purely by having IoT and lights to tell them when they actually need to turn on and when people are there to use them. Their smart gardens save them $58 million a year in water usage just by watering in the right places at the right time. And now think about your home. All of those things I mentioned in your house, I already do in mine. It's here. It's not a futuristic object or an idea. It's a reality. So as we welcome the whole universe to the next era of connectivity, I ask, once all of our tasks are automated, when the things that we currently do every day and the jobs that half of you love and half of you hate are actually replaced by IoT devices, artificial intelligence and interconnected systems, what do? We come back to creativity, innovation, and humanity. We cannot replace our need to create new things, to improve them, and to build interpersonal relationships. We invent, we build, we optimize, we operate, we innovate, and we remember to enjoy sometimes before we invent again. IoT is the beginning of a new era.